This cat is like, pay attention to me.
Dog, my windows are open, so if you hear car noises, I do not care.
We never hear them. You always talk about car noises, and nobody ever hears what the fuck you're talking about.
I mean, that's true, but also I haven't had them open on a podcast.
Why do you have them open?
This time they're open.
It is.
Because it's hot as fuck in here.
Why can't I see the temperature? It's just not. Oh.
It's like, what, 40 out? And
46
it's like
degrees.
70 degrees in my room.
Speaking of temperature outside, Mason texted me. He's like, I was looking for my swim trunks so that I could get in the hot tub. Because he does that in the winter. Like rain, snow. Because
Right.
it's like covered, I think. He'll go out there when it's snowy and he'll get in the hot tub. He's like, I was looking for my swim trunks, and then I realized, James, I know that Josh was here for this. Do you know what happened to Mason's swim trunks?
No.
When we went on the pontoon in July, July or August?
Oh, now I remember.
He took his.
I
Fuck
was like,
them
what are
up
we
on the
talking about?
pontoon.
He took his shorts off as a bit because he wears boxers underneath them. I need to clarify. And he thought it would be funny to just surface and hand somebody his shorts, which admittedly it was. We're underneath the boat, by the way, because there's like a little area where you can be under the boat but not underwater. And he hands them to me, and I'm like, oh my God. And then he hands them to Nate, and Nate won't take them. Nate just pushes them back. So I grab them and hand them back to Mason. And Mason keeps handing them off to people who aren't taking them. So I grab them back and hand them back to Mason. Mason, the last time I do it, Mason doesn't accept them. He swims off. And I'm like, and I think I handed it to him, said, I don't really want to play this fucking game anymore, and swam off. Apparently, he also swam off. Because he swims up to me later and he's like, hey, where are my swim trunks? I was like, I gave them to you. And he's like,
now you can hear that.
Yeah, we can hear that. It's fine. They're just here for you.
I should probably close my windows.
They're just here for you. It's fine. But he's like, where are my swim trunks? Mason, I gave them to you. I don't have them. Where are they? He literally swam to the bottom of the lake looking for him. Never found him.
Yeah, I remember just sitting there on top, like, you guys are all idiots. Mind you, I was like one of the only sober ones there.
I was sober.
Very, very far into it.
Nate? Yeah,
You
Nate
weren't
was
sober,
gone.
were you?
No, I didn't drink really
Nate
at all.
was very gone, yeah.
That's not supposed to come off.
Just duct tape. It'll be fine. Okay, wait, Chase. We need something to clarify here. You said he had boxers under his trunks?
Yeah, like boxer
Yeah,
briefs.
you don't wear boxers under your swimming trunks when you
I don't.
swim?
I don't know.
Who the heck does that?
Me,
Mason.
And is
bro.
not insane. That's
I do that too when I swim.
I keep mine
they're
separate.
made so they can do it for you. They have like the little
Yeah, there's the
mesh
netting.
stuff inside that's supposed to hold all the bits together.
Personally,
You know, keep the
personally, right? I keep my boxers separate so that I can change and have dry clothes.
Personally, I have
too.
an extra pair.
Why are you wasting another pair then? Why are you bringing two pairs? You could do half as much laundry.
That's maths right there. He did the math.
I'll kick your
That
ass
is work
again.
here, man. Yeah, make sure it's actually kick and not boot from the fucking server. This
The button
time.
is disconnect. I hit kick. All right. It was
You should have read
misinput.
the whole thing because it says kick from server.
Does it really?
For those who were not there
Yes,
last episode. In
I'm
in
the
a
one who can't
true
read because I play
display,
Yu-Gi-Oh. You can fucking read.
in a true display of his intelligence, Chase accidentally kicked and also basically banned.
No, I did not ban him. I did not ban him.
Yeah, you did basically ban him.
Just a kick.
It was just a kick.
Well, it
I
was-
saw the ban button and said, that's the one I don't want to hit. I recognized that was the bad button. What should have tipped me off is that they were both written in red.
Yes.
James, I'll have you know afterwards, for a solid, I think it was at least till the next day, Chase was genuinely worried that he had upset you. He kept texting
Oh,
messaging
no,
like,
I'm
"You think he's
aware.
okay? Can you check for
I'm
me?"
very much aware, and I just played into that bit.
Oh man,
I genuinely
you should see
drove-
his face.
I almost
Did you go
wrote
back and
Twit
watch
longer.
the rest of the stream
What'd you say,
after
James?
he kicked you?
I almost wrote that twit longer that I said in the chat. I almost wrote that just to be that guy.
I thought about writing a twit longer that was like 2 sentences long and was clearly a meme. That would just say James is mean bad man, hurt feelings. I thought about it in the shower and I was like, that's too much effort. This is like yesterday though, so.
Mm-hmm.
But back to what
I
Josh
enjoyed that.
said. Did you
So, I'm
did you
glad you
come
did that,
back
James.
to watch the entire stream?
Did I?
No, James.
I mean, I watched the end until you like closed off.
Did you go back and watch the podcast? Because you can see me click the wrong button.
Yes, I did see, like, I saw in real time me disconnecting after I got after I left the server. Like, this motherfucker. Like, there was enough time for me to go to your stream and see me get kicked from the server.
It was a misinput.
Oof.
A misinput. You calm down. You calm the fuck down.
You come the fuck down.
What do you think we would have to do to get critical to make fun of us?
I don't get big enough, I suppose.
Wait, critical as in the guy that wears the night helmet?
No, Penguin Zero, Moist Critical,
Are you
Charlie.
Oh,
Are you talking about Swagger Souls?
is that his name? Oh, they all blend together.
Most
Okay, I know who
critical
you're talking
is the
about,
guy
though.
with the long hair that wears the same white T-shirt every
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, every video is the exact same, basically, just with a different topic.
Yeah.
And he talks like this.
But he looks and
Hey guys, what's
the
up? It's
joke
Moist
is that he's
Critical.
like a robot that just goes back into his little charging station and
that's
comes
it.
out for
Yep.
a video. I think there was a Meat Canyon video on there or something.
I didn't watch
Yeah.
the
I
only
didn't talk
time I
about
ever
it.
watched a Meat Canyon video was for XQC. And
Oh God.
That
That
shit
was a
was-
pretty good one.
and then
Ah,
XQC
that's
like
the
watched it and
classic.
laughed and
And reacted to it.
yeah, and completely like missed the point of the video.
Oh my god. I mean, honestly, if you were in a Meat Canyon video, you'd probably feel only complete and utter disappointment in
I
yourself.
would feel complete and total
or
contempt towards Meat
complete
Canyon.
in honor.
I would. I'm sensitive, all right. I would get my feelings hurt or some shit.
It depends on why you're in the video. That's really what it
Yeah.
comes down to.
It depends
you're
on
the
how
ukulele
badly they
lady,
make fun of me.
You're-
Right.
yeah.
What do you think is your one behavior that they would highlight more than anything?
My beard. It's not a behavior, but it's
That's
the thing
a-
that they would highlight
That's
in
a
my
My
characteristic.
obesity.
caricature.
Your obesity. Those are characteristics. Those are physical characteristics. Mine would be my nose if we're talking about physical characteristics.
I was gonna say your chin.
My chin?
Yeah.
I would maybe
the way
both.
that your chin is pretty rigid, but it also has
don't
this
feel like
like goatee combo mustache thing.
Yeah,
going
maybe like
on.
the maybe my shitty facial hair.
Yeah.
My wispy
can see it.
fucking facial hair. This is unrelated, but I got a fucking bone to pick with Sony. I don't know if you guys saw this in general.
Oh, I did see this. Do you want me to read it off?
I mean, if you want to read it off, that's fine.
Yeah, this is the same thing. I have a bone to pick with
Yesterday
them.
at 4:22 a.m.
That's not last night. That's
me
the day before
after
yesterday.
Me after putting in 2 hours in Spider-Man 2 on my brother's PS5. Time to go to bed. Better power down the console. Sony. Hey, if you power off now, you'll lose your progress. Chase. Okay, that's pretty normal. I'll make sure to save the game. Sony, and upload it to the cloud. Me. Right. I'll do that. Sony, that is your only option. Chase, it's like that on Xbox 2. That's fine. Sony, that'll be $10. Chase, I don't have the money. Sony, then you don't have those saves either. Let me reiterate that real quick.
Yeah,
I have to
spell it
pay
out
a
like I'm
monthly
five.
fee to save my fucking game.
So I
Wait, so you can't
realized
save it on your device itself anymore?
you can, but when you go to sign into the PlayStation, there are two options: create account and sign in. Create account is what you want to do if you want a permanent account on the PlayStation, even if you already have an account. You hit that button and you sign in and you have an account permanently on the PlayStation. You hit sign in and you create a 24-hour account for the PlayStation that deletes all of your saves at once the console is powered down.
Wait, so do you just always have to hit create an account?
You just sign in through create an account, because you hit create account and then it's like, do you already have an account? So go ahead and sign in. You have to add new user.
That's such terrible UI.
Wait, so are you saying?
Yes.
Let me get this straight.
Maybe
So
it
the
doesn't say create account.
Is actually just creating an account locally.
Yes.
Like it's creating a local device account, and then you tie that to your Sony like whatever account,
Yes.
like the actual
Yes.
whatever.
More or less.
But they
It
don't
might
explain
not
that.
say create an account, but there's one thing on the left that suggests create a new account. I don't remember if the exact words are create a new account. And then there's the other thing that at the top says one-time sign-in guest. And then below that it says sign in, quick sign in. I assumed that the quick sign thing meant guest thing, because I didn't see the guest thing at the top, because it's laid out similarly on other fucking consoles, and everything else is the left thing is create a new account, the right thing is sign in if you already have one.
You know, this doesn't surprise me. I've always thought that the UI of PlayStations PlayStation 3 up have been trash, like horrible, just really annoying to deal with. I always hated navigating the
Yes.
PS3
I agree.
menu. It made no sense. I hate the way that you have to like go all the way across here to see the one thing that it shows you, and then you got to move all the way over here and then go down, and then you got to hope it's somewhere down here, and the thing that you picked is just so bad because you have to actually spend all this time just pushing through things to get down here and not even know where you're going.
I realize as
I'm
well.
kind of indifferent in this whole situation.
I realize as well that people are going to be like, oh, just fucking read next time. Read where it says one-time sign-in, which is fair. I missed that. I didn't read it. However, how fucking ever, once I do that, if I do it on accident, I should be given the opportunity to undo that before deleting my saves. In other words, I
mean,
want
to be
the
honest-
ability to extend. You know what I mean? There should be
Okay,
like,
but you have a way to undo that. $10.
that's not undoing it, because my account still gets deleted when I power off the console.
Oh my god.
What the fuck?
Wait, so is there no actual data being saved on your console? Right
There
now?
is.
Is that what I'm hearing? It all goes to a cloud now?
There is data being saved on your console, but you have to pay money to be able to save it to the cloud. Is basically what it is. They're not saying like, oh, this is only for guests. If anybody ever wants to save anything to the cloud, they have to pay $10. They have to be a member of PS Plus or whatever the fuck it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile,
don't you have to have
on
PS Plus to
Xbox,
play online anyway?
what was that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You have to have PS Plus to play online.
yeah, but that's just
Unless
modern.
it's specifically Fortnite.
Dude, you console bros, I'm sorry. That would completely
It's the
negate
same thing
that
with
console for me.
Nintendo. It's the same thing with Sony. It's the same thing with Xbox.
Actually,
God.
I'm gonna defend Xbox here real quick. So Xbox, my stuff automatically saves to the cloud. I can create an account right now, and no matter what, that shit's getting saved to the cloud. Even if I deleted, if I fucking restored my Xbox to factory settings, as long as that shit is connected to the internet, that shit's going to the cloud. And then on top of that,
You know what? All this talk about clouds is really just
it's raining
back in my
outside.
day, you just had a memory card, you stuck it in the slot, and you hit save, and that was the end. And all you
until
had your
2011.
console, you had your data. If you wanted to play your other game, you switched the thing out.
It's either
Done.
that or the game saved on the cartridge itself,
Or
so you
on the
didn't need a
console
fucking memory
itself.
card.
What
Yeah, or
on
the
earth?
console.
Why have we regressed so far as a society?
Technically, with the PlayStation, shit is still saving to the console. With the Xbox, shit is still saving to the console. It's just the Xbox backs it up to the cloud, and then PlayStation is like, if you want access to the cloud at all, you have to pay for it. Does that make any sense?
Okay, this is also
It's the same thing with. I believe it's the same thing with Nintendo, that you have cloud saves through their online.
what is the point of having cloud saves on a console? The whole point of consoles are that they are relatively portable.
Because
I guess the newer ones aren't as
because
much now. They're basically computers.
Because some people, like myself, have consoles in different rooms of their houses. Like, I have my Xbox up here, but there's a Series S downstairs. There's an Xbox One X or S or whatever the fuck in the basement. I have a Xbox One X around here somewhere. Basically, if I went to someone else's house, I could, I was like, oh, I want to show you this game. I could install the game and pick up from where I left off. Like if you had an Xbox and you were like, oh, what's that game you've been playing? It's like, oh, let me show you. And then I can install it. Of course, that's dependent on your internet speeds. And then
so you're gonna sit there and wait for 2 hours for me to install the game on your device and take up all your hard drive space. Then you can go around and delete it once I leave.
Maybe.
So I can show you the game. Why wouldn't you just come over to my house and I'll play it on my console?
What if that's not the
I'll
point?
bring my console to your house.
What if
show
that's
you the game?
What if that's not the point of your visit? You know what I mean?
How many times? Tell me, Chase. How many times have you gone to someone's house and been like, "Hey, I got this great game I got to show you. I just thought of. Let me download this 200 gigabyte thing on your console."
I don't know anybody who has an
I'll
Xbox.
Show you.
Okay,
Exactly.
Honestly, most games aren't 200 gigs. Okay, but most AAA games are up there.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, no console guy
The
is gonna sit
main-
there with an Ethernet cord.
the
They're gonna do
main
Wi-Fi. It's gonna
purpose-
take 2 hours.
Let me
download
let me
it.
give
They're
you
gonna get it
let
downloaded
me
and
give
installed and be
you
like, oh, we got a 300 gigabyte update while we're at it. Another 3 hours, and then you sat there, did nothing. You didn't get to see a game. You could have just watched it. On
Let me give
YouTube.
you a better example
coulda
then.
gone to your
Let me
house.
shut up. Let me give you a better fucking example then, right?
I'm just spicy tonight. I'm sorry.
Kids with divorced parents, right? They have an Xbox at their dad's house, they got an Xbox at their mom's house. What if they're playing
Oh my God.
fucking Assassin's Creed?
Microsoft thinking about the children.
That's what I used it for when I was a kid.
The divorced children, orphans.
Are you saying that
Who's
their
gonna
experience
think about the orphans?
or the main thing that they've advertised it for is if I'm playing in the living room and my mom's like, hey, I want to watch fucking ER or some shit. Okay, I'm going to go upstairs. I'm not like locked out of my game. It's not like I have to sit up here and be like, well, I hope she's done soon. Like you would have been unless you wanted to take the Xbox and go upstairs with it. Or if somebody else took the Xbox or whatever. I can just play wherever, dude. I can fucking play my Xbox saves. I can fucking play my Xbox saves on my PC.
Xbox?
What was that?
Well, you can play Xbox S. Sure, well, I don't know what all the names are, but Xbox S on the Xbox refrigerator or whatever it's called.
So there's
Can you
the
play
series
those on there?
Yeah, there's this. It's all backwards compatible. The only thing that doesn't, the only thing that's not 100% backwards compatible are the consoles before the Xbox One. The Xbox Series X, I can play every single Xbox One game on there. I can play 200 some Xbox 360 games and 200 some original Xbox games.
But you just have to install them.
Yeah.
So if you're playing COD and you're like, crap, I gotta go to the other TV because this TV's taken now. Let me go download the 200 gigabyte COD on this other Xbox.
The thing with COD is, though, you can download whatever part of the game you want.
I don't know why you're picking the most extreme example.
I think
first off, if I'm playing, if I have two consoles, if I'm playing a game and I want to play it that fucking bad, chances are I probably already have it installed on the other console.
The fuck you mean?
Have you sat there and individually installed all your games on each of your consoles? Do you have room for
The
that?
one downstairs is not mine. It's
Do you
my
have the
parents.
time for that?
The one downstairs isn't mine. It's my stepdad's. I normally don't play down there, but if I wanted to, I could. And to that point, Josh, if I wanted to, I could get the fucking expansion pack or whatever, which is $200, so that's another problem. Have all my games on there, unplug it from this Xbox, walk down there, plug it in. Which is just like a memory card at that point, but still.
See, I think the execution of this,
SSDs.
the execution of this seems like they're just gone completely in the wrong direction.
What do you mean?
It
You
sounds like they're
prefer
trying to do
so
something
you
that it's not
prefer
made to do.
you prefer your saves being saved to the console or to your PC or whatever the fuck.
Well, so here's the thing. I'm not saying I prefer that or the other, but what I am saying is if they're going to do that, don't make it a console. Make it a streaming console.
Streaming. What the fuck are you talking about?
We all know what happened. We all know what happened with
Okay.
Chromecast and
Yes, we know Stadia.
What the fuck are you
we know
talking
happened
about?
with Trial run.
And
The game's still running locally.
The
The game's still fucking running locally, you goddamn inbred idiot.
No, you're streaming it.
No, I'm
You're
not.
streaming it. That's the whole point.
No.
You don't gotta install anything.
Your
You just play it.
saves-
You install the
But
the
that's
launcher
terrible.
That does the
That's
hosting
terrible.
of the stream, and you're done.
Your saves a one-time data
What do you mean
transfer voice versus an constant sucking of the internet. It's a lot more data. It's a lot.
I mean, if you're sitting there having to switch around consoles and use cloud saves, what's the difference?
Let me give you another example, all
I mean,
right?
you're just
Let me give you another example that might
doing
better
a
suit
worse
your
version.
thick fucking skull. If there's a flood in my house and all my shit is destroyed, right? Or there's a house fire, or they fucking drop a nuclear bomb on my fucking house, and I somehow, by the grace of God,
Very likely. Very likely in today's climate.
I somehow, by the grace of God, survive, and I still want to play fucking, I don't know.
You wake up out of the refrigerator 2 miles from your house, and you're like, oh, man,
I still want to play fucking
I gotta go play COD.
Diablo 3 or some shit. My saves, if once I get a new Xbox, when the war is over, once I get a new Xbox, I can pick right up from where I left off. It's an
But
extra
that's
level
just-
of
you're just-
security.
You're just selling to me the idea of cloud saves, which has already been sold. I like that idea. It's just that doing it the way that they're doing it with like, oh, let's have 30 different boxes with hard drives in them that play your games around your house, and then you have to go to each individual one, download a game and install it, and then download everything in your saves and install those into your game that you just installed and set for
What
2
the
hours.
fuck are you
When you
talking
could just have a
about?
bunch of streaming boxes everywhere that you can just,
These
oh,
are
I wanna play here.
different concepts.
I'm playing it here now. Oh, I want to go over here. Let me just switch it over here. 2 seconds. Now I got the game on my new. I mean, it just seems like a really badly done thing that it was not made for.
This
If they're gonna be like $10 for the saving on the cloud, then good God, just make it a streaming box at that point. You're just being difficult.
This
All right.
conversation is gone. I'm playing.
That's my hill.
Fuck
That's
off,
my hill.
guys.
I have established where I am in this.
Josh,
'Cause
you're a
guess what?
fucking idiot.
Other cloud saving things are free,
Is he still
or at
talking?
least pretty cheap.
You know what else is free? Fucking Xbox. The fucking cloud saves on Xbox are fucking free, you dumb dick.
Well, okay,
That was
that's good.
That was
Then why
where
is
this
Sony not doing the
conversation
same thing?
started. Is me saying that the Xbox thing is free and that's how it fucking should be.
Yeah, but Xbox problem is still that they have to actually have consoles that download the games and then you play them.
I can fucking stream them to my PC. I can stream them to my fucking console. I just don't because it's stupid.
Why would you not?
Because to do so requires a steady internet connection, of which I have, but it puts a strain on my network. Because there's a lot of fucking data to transfer.
How many gigabytes or not gigabytes? How many megabytes you getting?
Like 800?
Like the lowest nowadays is 200, which is really good still.
I used to get 12 like last year.
Your plan was 12 megabytes?
No, that's just what I would get
I
in
don't
my
think
room.
that existed. Are you using Wi-Fi?
I was. I'm not anymore.
That's okay. Well, that's your problem.
I've been getting,
Oh
I've been
my
getting
God.
800 since I
doing?
switched
Yeah.
to Ethernet. I just couldn't get Ethernet in my room for
Okay,
whatever reason.
you will have zero. You could probably stream like 12 consoles with 800. Are you kidding? That's so good.
Yeah, but I don't want
We live in
to.
the modern day of internet.
Or I could just install the game so that if my internet drops out for whatever reason, I'm still playing the game.
That's just it. That's what it should be with consoles that are just consoles. Install the game, play it. You want to take it around with you, then just
I
have
take it to
a
game
hard
night every
drive
week and
or
I don't
a-
fucking connect it to the internet. I don't need to connect it to the internet. If I want to install a game, sure.
Well, to be honest, I guess that's up for what kinds of game you're playing.
Yes, most games, the game requires me to connect to the internet, not the console. I can still sign in. I can still launch games. As long as those games don't require an internet connection, I can still play them. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Genuinely. I don't know what point you're trying to make. I don't understand. Genuinely. I don't fucking
I just think that consoles need to make the leap already.
And I just think that
They're
you should be
trying too hard to
fucking
be
euthanized.
PCs.
I don't know.
And they need to just start being consoles of convenience. Because that doesn't sound convenient. That just sounds like, hey, we're going to throw a really expensive thing in your house and then make you walk around to different others of those things and also make you pay us to do that.
Nobody's
Take all
paying
of
them
your
to
money.
do that.
That's what it sounds like to
Nobody's.
me.
No, we're not paying them to do that because it's,
You
it's
have to pay them $10.
for the on the PlayStation, sure,
In
because that's a
Sony's
shit.
case, but we're talking about Xbox.
Well, I'm
Because Sony's a shitty fucking company that requires everything to be locked behind a paywall because they pay their way through everything. Because they're a shitty fucking
And that's
company that I
garbage.
wish would fucking go under. If the PlayStation stopped being produced, if there was no PlayStation 6, the world would be fucking better off for it. Because goddamn does
Okay,
those
I'm really
fucking
loving all
consoles
this
suck.
Sony hate right now because I also have something to hate Sony for right now, and maybe it's unnecessary hate, but I'm kind of feeling it right now. I need to talk about it.
Okay, go ahead.
The
Anything to get off
announcement
this fucking
from last week-
conversation.
Yeah, I mean it's still kind of hate Sony time, but
Yeah, we're not talking about
different
cloud
topic.
saves anymore.
the
Is
announcement
what I'm
that
happy
last
about.
week from Nintendo about the Legend of Zelda movie, I'm really mad about actually the way that
What does that have to do with
it's looking
Sony?
already. I am not.
What does that have to do with Sony?
Because Sony's the ones producing it.
Oh, they're
They're going with Sony instead of Universal, which would be the obvious choice from Nintendo.
Yeah,
And also,
Sony.
they're going live action, and more so, they're going with. For some stupid reason, they're going with Avi Arad as the flippin' producer, which is a failure of a producer. Thank you.
I don't know. He was a
if you guys
producer
are
on the
aware-
first. He was a producer on 2 of the Tobey Maguire movies, wasn't he? Those were good movies.
Okay, we need to get something straight.
He's not a complete
Avi has
failure.
this
Is the
deal.
point? I know who Avi
Let me
Arad
get this
is.
straight. Avi has a deal on every Spider-Man movie that, or actually content, I think that's produced, media-wise. He gets to have his name as producer on it, no matter what. He has no
Why?
no touch on it at all, but he still gets his name on it. It's his deal he has.
Why?
It's part of the deal with the what do you call it? The rights of what Spider-Man is. You know what I'm talking about? That legal term. He
Oh,
gets his name on it all the time.
Licensing. Or
So
whatever.
he can have zero input on it, And in that case, all the Spider-Man things that have been amazing recently, like Into the Spider-Verse, all those, he's got his name on it. He didn't do anything about it. He didn't touch it at all.
Yeah, but
everyone's like, oh, he produced it.
The holy trinity of fucking Spider-Man movies that you always jack off to, he's in all the DVD featurettes talking about his involvement. I agree that he fucking fumbled the bag with the Mark Webb movies and a little bit with Spider-Man 3.
Dude, he's fumbled so much.
But I think it would would be a disservice and a complete what's the word I'm looking for? You have to acknowledge bad people's successes. People who fail a lot, people who are objectively bad at what they do. You have to then also acknowledge their successes, or something they were involved in that was good, or else your entire point is invalid because you're just like, oh, they've never done anything good. It's like, well, yes, they have. Like Kathleen Kennedy did Back to the Future.
I never said he didn't do anything good before, but I am saying
you said he was a complete and total failure.
I don't have any confidence in him.
Is he a director?
Yes, he is.
I've only ever seen him as a producer.
Yeah, he's a producer.
Oh, you just said he was a director.
But I mean, he especially his most recent stuff has been pretty bad.
I haven't seen any of his most recent stuff.
I mean, you've got Morbius, you've got Uncharted, which wasn't very good except for fans.
I liked it.
I mean, the Venom movies, The
Venom movies were alright.
I mean, he ruined the Amazing Spider-Man trilogy. He ruined. Well, he's supposedly going to be pretty bad on Borderlands that's coming up next year. There's been a lot of controversy in that they were having to reshoot the whole thing.
There's a Borderlands
and then they put him in.
movie.
You're not hearing about this?
Yeah,
Kevin Hart is in it.
Produced, but
what the fuck?
Yeah, it's like got like a star-studded cast. I think Kevin Hart, I don't remember who it was, made a complete and total ass of themselves on set. I don't remember who it was, but apparently they said something that was really, really fucking out of line.
Canceled
as a joke, and everyone. It wasn't like a cancelable thing. It was just like a kind of deal. You know what I mean? Where
it was a no.
Where like somebody just said something like
he broke the rules.
Someone just said something like mildly awkward. I don't remember what it was, but they went to like some historical site and he said something about it as a joke without even thinking about it. It was Bobby Lee, wasn't it? I think it was Bobby Lee. Is that his name?
I'm not sure. I'm not following.
I don't know, man.
But all that to say is I'm not confident about that. And I'm also not confident about the director they picked. Did you guys ever see The Maze Runner, the movie?
I saw the first one. It was all right.
Yeah, I also saw the first one.
How'd you feel?
I didn't feel.
It's all right.
You didn't feel?
I wasn't attached to
you? Yeah, I didn't for me either.
I wasn't attached to that franchise.
I read the books and I still didn't.
Just like,
I mean, the books in general were kind of boring too, but the movie was just so generic feeling. I mean, it didn't help that it was on the very end of that whole fad of like teenage books being converted.
I think that's what it was.
Thing that happened.
It was at the end, and people didn't really care for it. I think
it was like Twilight, and then Hunger Games, and then Divergent, and then Maze Runner, and it started with
flat. It started with Harry Potter, didn't it? Harry Potter was like the first of it.
You could honestly say that was kind of a very, that's a good point. That was one of the big ones that came out before that. All of that.
Harry Potter.
Yeah. So that guy, the Wes Anderson, Ball, I think his name is. No, Wes Ball. Oh, Wes Anderson. That'd be that'd be kind of interesting. I want to see that.
Who am I thinking
directed by
Who am I
Wes
thinking
Anderson.
Who am I thinking of? Who's the guy who directed the Resident Evil movies? I think his last name is.
I don't know. I didn't watch.
Yeah, I haven't seen those.
I just know that his wife is like the main character in every. He did the Monster Hunter movies as well, and his wife is the main character in every movie that he directs, and she's always like super powered and like. It's kind of weird.
He gives her a power fantasy.
Yeah, it's like a weird like power fetish kind of thing. I need to finish watching the Resident Evil
Well,
movies. I
maybe
got
that
to-
guy would have been better than their choice for this director, because this guy literally has done Maze Runner movies and an unproduced Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes movie in 2024.
You know who should?
That is his entire filmography.
There's a new Planet of the Apes
And
movie.
they put him in the charge of this new Zelda movie.
There's a new Planet
Yeah,
of the Apes
it's,
movie.
it's
coming
another
out.
one of those, which
I really like those.
the new
movies.
ones I haven't really. You did?
You know who
Were
they
you a fan of
should?
the originals?
You know who they should have cast as or cast, but put as the director of the Zelda movie, and it would have fucking killed. Peter Jackson.
Oh my God! Please, yes.
That's such a
Oh my
delayed
God, yeah.
response.
That'd be. Oh my God!
Yeah, that would have done it.
Oh, don't give me hope, Chase. This is the wrong
After you,
timeline.
there is no hope.
Let
Going
me
to fail.
let me erase
Dude,
your
why
hope.
would they do this?
Let me erase
what
your
they
hope
should've done?
by just
Another thing they should've
suggesting
done.
terrible choices. Quentin Tarantino,
Dude, it's. I don't get what. No.
Kevin Feige.
What's wrong with Tarantino?
Because I don't think Link should be dropping the F-bomb. Let me think.
That would be hilarious.
Chris Nolan.
Oh,
He gets one word in
God.
the entire movie. It's just the F bomb.
No, Tarantino directed it. Link would be talking about fucking, I don't know. He'd be talking about the absurdity of something. I'm not a fucking Zelda fan. I don't know. Like, these fucking dungeons, they're just gone forever. Who put them here? I don't understand. What are they from?
I mean, that is
Why
kind
are
of,
there
that
so
is
many
kind of
of
a
'em?
thought that goes through my head a lot in those games.
No, it would
Yeah,
definitely be a thought
I'm
that
not feeling
has
very
gone
good
through
about
your
this.
head while playing the game, but I just don't feel like Link should say it. I feel like we're in
Probably
an
not.
era
Right.
where
Would,
where films feel the need to like justify.
Listen,
or
if
call
Link
out.
isn't a silent protagonist in that film, then what's the point?
exactly.
If
That's
Master
the thing-
Chief-
That's another thing. I just keep going into this further.
I understand from like the cartoons, like the cartoons from yesteryear.
Here's the problem with that, right?
Okay, but let me tell you why the cartoon is not like the end of the world.
Mm-hmm.
The cartoon is just that. It's a cartoon. So there's no face, there's no actor that is Link established as the face of Link. There is none of that, thankfully. That's what is keeping the cartoon at least bearable to the point where, yeah, it's just kind of a funny thingy and it doesn't really like hurt the brand of Zelda or like my idea of it or other people's idea of it. A lot of it is just kind of funny. It's like a side thing. It's like the Christmas special for Star Wars.
Listen,
No one really gives it any credit and they don't really think about it as anything real, but it's just kind of there to laugh at for fun.
listen.
But with a live action version, they have to give the face of Link, like officially, they make someone who is now the face of Zelda. And that is always forevermore what people see when they think of Link. Oh, it's that actor, it's Tom Holland or whatever.
It's
And
gonna be Tom Holland.
That's
Let's be
just
real.
you don't do that.
It's gonna be
You
Tom
don't do
Holland.
that.
It's gonna be Tom Holland.
It's going to be Tom.
I don't
Holland.
want Tom Holland's face all over my Zelda games.
But
I'm
it's
sorry.
I understand that, but you have to be realistic and accept that Tom Holland is at least 80% going to
No.
be at least approached.
You are not
for it.
immune to Tom Holland.
No.
And listen,
That's impossible.
if Master Chief has to take his helmet off in the Halo show that we've been waiting for 20 years, then I fucking hope Tom Holland gets cast as Link.
Dude, they're gonna
And he
Master
never
Chief
shuts
this
up.
so
And he
hard.
never shuts up. He's just constantly throughout the movie. Wow, that was crazy. When he gets the Master Sword, he's like,
Dude,
I'm gonna.
you know what they should have done? This should have been a Studio Ghibli movie. It should have been animated in a very nice, honorable style of animation like that.
Nintendo
A
had
lot
That's-
of love,
a budget,
a lot of care.
absolutely.
the
But
culture.
that's
that
not a blockbuster.
created it is also creating the movie. They'll be more in line with the creators of Nintendo. They'll
But
be able to collaborate more.
here's
I don't
the
know what
thing.
collaborations are going to be between Sony, the rival of Nintendo, and Nintendo. That doesn't make sense to me that they would even do that. Whereas they have a Universal deal that has produced good content. They made Mario and it was good. There's no reason for them to be enemies. They're allies. They have a good deal going on. They sell stuff. Universal in Japan literally has the Nintendo Land in it, so they're like pretty good buddies at this point. And yet they turn around and like, hey, those guys that sell consoles too and everything that are big rivals of ours, let's give them the movie of one of our biggest, most loved franchises of all time, and that will just work.
Is it possible?
Make it whatever you want. Have fun.
Is it possible that Sony has already had the rights to Zelda for a long time, and they had no choice but to make it through them?
No.
Why not?
I for the love of God hope not that was the case, but they've done it anyway, so it doesn't matter. They've officially given those reins to Sony. Sony now owns the license of Zelda media.
And I hope they make a whole franchise of Zelda
yeah.
movies that just has nothing to do with Zelda.
You know, it'd be really funny
I hope they make a
if
whole
made-
franchise of Zelda
Listen,
movies
hear
where
me out,
Link is a
hear me out,
fucking
right?
New Yorker who has a job in an art gallery. I hope that's what they do.
Okay, listen, hear me out, all right? We get a Legend of Zelda movie that is... we get a Legend of Zelda movie that's based on the CDI games. Funniest shit I've ever seen.
Honestly, I'd prefer that over a live action one, actually. Because it'd be like the cartoon again. I can just laugh at it. It's separate. It doesn't destroy the image of the games and of the characters to me. It's just, a one-off little thing that I can laugh at and be, okay, that was fun.
What about this?
And be done.
If
The YouTube poops would be just pouring out, too. That'd be great.
What if you just didn't let a separate non-canon media affect your enjoyment of the canon media? Like,
See, that's hard to do.
because you're an idiot. I've been watching the Halo show, and as somebody who knows like a little bit of Halo lore, everything about that show is wrong. But you just look at it through a different lens. You look at it as not a part of the timeline. The Halo show, you remember those Star Trek reboots that came out in 2009? Where it wasn't like a reboot, it was like the timeline got fucked up. That's how I've been viewing the Halo show. And honestly, it makes it so much better to look at it through the lens of the timeline got fucked up somewhere and everything is wrong.
Okay, but have they ever actually shown Master Chief's face before that?
We saw the bridge of his nose.
So can you now, if you were to try to imagine in your head what your perception of what he looked like before you saw his face in the show, can you imagine another face? Or
No.
is that just now the face that comes to mind when you think Master Chief?
I don't even think of
I can't think of
I don't even think of Pablo.
any perception of what I thought of what he would look like
That's his
is
name,
now
right?
ruined because it's that
name's
guy.
Pablo,
that
right?
guy. That's his face.
Is it Pablo?
I think so. It's Pablo Schreiber, I think. Yeah. Schreiber? It's taking forever to look. Yeah, Pablo Schreiber is his name.
I mean, the best they could do is show his face in the games to what a different face would look like.
It's like the cardinal rule of Halo is
But
that
at
you
that
never
point,
show his face. When I think of Master Chief's face, I think of the helmet.
Worked.
I think of
That's
the
why
helmet.
it worked.
Why? What worked?
Exactly.
What do you?
And that's why, because you're supposed to imagine yourself in that helmet, and that's the beauty of the game.
I mean, we have a description of him from the
That's
books.
why Link is silent. That's why he doesn't have a real face.
We have a description of what John looks like. I just don't care to read it. Like when I get to the book,
His name is John. Wait,
Master Chief's name is
Master Chief.
John 117. Yes, his name is John. Why do you think
his name is John Chief, and they just put Master in?
Well, no, his
quotes
rank
in the middle
is Master Chief. John is his name. Here, let me see if I can
So
find.
he's John Master Chief in
Let me see if
quotes
I-
Chief.
What is Master Chief's description? My internet's fucking shitting itself right now. Master Chief.
Boom.
See, I'm gonna be honest right now. If I look up Master Chief face, guess what comes up?
Pablo Schreiber.
Everyone do that at home right now. Look up
Pablo
Master Chief
Schreiber.
face on Google.
There's
You know what
there's a
comes
few
up?
things that are gonna come up.
The ruined guy in the dumb show. And that's just every kid
So
is like,
there
I
was
wanna be a
actually
Halo fan.
there
Let
are
me look up his face. Oh,
few
that's what he looks
there are a
like.
few viral videos that are like the face of Master Chief, like in the Halo 3 beta. There was the face of Master Chief because they put human heads inside of the helmets to model the
Right.
correct sizes. So there's a random face in there, but it's not Master Chief's face. And then there are times where people have sworn up and down
It's
that they can
just
see his
some
face.
dude.
Yeah.
Well, that's him now, though.
Let me see. I think they.
And see, that's the thing that scares me. Is that even though your idea might be okay, that's not his face. I can just imagine it's not his face. But everyone who comes after you who didn't know, like who wasn't a fan until now, or they want to become a fan, and they find that's what their face is for them, and that's what becomes the
That's
face
what he looks like.
as generations move forward and they look back on this and they see the new stuff. That's forever going to be more and more his face. And
Here's-
that's kind of what canon is. I mean, you can make your own head canons, but canon, at least in my book, is a large part what people overall in the fan base think. And if the fan base learns over time that that's what he looks like, but just because that's what's there exists now, then that's what's going to become canon. Whether
So
you like it or not.
here's the description that we have of Master Chief. He is described as a typical boy with brown. This is when he was a child. This is the only description we have.
Mm-hmm.
Typical boy with brown hair, freckles, and a gap between his two front teeth.
So he's SpongeBob?
No.
No.
He's just the point is he's just supposed to look as completely unremarkable as possible. I think one of the books, I don't know if I have it, describes him as having like scars and shit too.
See, I mean, in other words, it's not like they're just describing a most generic person possible without giving too much detail.
He's
so
just
that the
he's not
player
meant to have a face.
can
If you want to picture a
transcribe
face,
their own image onto this character.
if you want to picture a face, if you really need a face, look up Steve Downs. Pull up a picture of Steve Downs.
I'm just laughing at what they also, in addition to the actual show's face, they also had someone put The Rock in Master Chief.
The Rock is
Yo.
cooking.
That'd be good. That'd be a good face for him. Okay, I'm seeing Steve.
Steve
bald.
Downs. Ideally,
Is Master Chief bald?
I mean, he could be. I think so. Look
He could
up
be. That's
Halo
the point.
4
He could be.
Legendary Ending in Google Images. Let me see if it actually comes up. It looks like he's bald, or at least has very short hair.
Oh, that's his face.
That's the most we've ever seen.
So they do kind of show some. Why does he look like he's wearing eyeshadow or something?
Because it's just the shadows.
Or Voldemort. It
whatever.
looks like Voldemort. I
It's
guess
just-
it is the lighting mostly, but
Yeah,
it
it's
looks
just the lighting.
very, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the most we've ever seen.
I say yeah, like I'm actively looking at this, but I'm not.
See, this is the equivalent
Somebody
of them
photoshopped-
adding the
somebody
H's and
photos-
ha's.
Somebody
of Link,
photoshopped the
but
eyes
no
on the
other
Ed
voice.
Harris, and it fits. Fucking Ed Harris. I'm lagging like a motherfucker. I
But
can't
you
search
know,
things right now.
you're right. Like there are things
Damn.
that you just don't do to these characters,
Yes, I agree.
and I think giving Link a real person's face, and
Just think of when
God
they
forbid,
start
a
doing-
voice.
Just think of when they do a Metroid movie. And how
I would
bad
rather have that.
they-
Honestly,
but
I mean,
would
I
you
hope
rather
she's
that
hot.
one be live action?
that'd be sick if they did it well.
Yeah, if
I
they
can
did
see
it
that
well, but
working
who are
either
they going to
way.
get to be in Samus's likeness?
I
There's
don't
like a
know, but I
billion-
hope she's hot.
Not billion, but there's a lot of actresses that could pull that off. I mean, Margot Robbie could probably do it. She's really hot right now in terms of getting in every movie ever. So I'm sure she could be a top contender. You have a lot of other actresses that are both up and coming and also already existing.
Speaking
there's
of
plenty.
Halo and Nintendo movies, you know who should have played Princess Peach in the Mario movie? And I know this argument's been made a million times, but it really wouldn't have made that much of a difference as swapping out Chris Pratt with whatever the fuck his name was. I can't remember off the top of my head.
The original voice actor from Mario.
Yeah, Jen Taylor just doing her normal voice
Mhm.
would have been fine as Princess Peach. She plays
Yeah, I
Princess
could see
Peach
that.
anyway. She literally plays Princess Peach
Mhm.
anyway. It would have been fine. Like
Yeah, but people don't know her name, so they don't want to cast her. That's the problem.
she's
with
fucking.
A lot of
People know her
cartoons
voice
that are
though.
voiced
You've heard
in
Cortana.
movies.
Like you've heard Cortana. She also, you know what they did get her to come back for? They got her to play Cortana in the Halo show. Like she physically plays Cortana.
Well, they did that well. At least something went well on that show. That's good. It's more than a lot of other ones can say.
Again, I've just been I've been viewing it through the wrong, like the timeline's been fucked up lens, and it's been pretty good so far.
The timeline.
Now, can we do the same thing for Star Wars though?
I don't care about Star Wars. I'm gonna
no.
be honest. I stopped caring. I just
You know
I just
what?
look at the
I don't give a
Mandalorian.
shit either.
At this point, I'm pretty exhausted with a lot of the big franchises. I need them to stop for a
I
while.
will say though, that Star Wars proved the Halo show wrong before the Halo show ever even started filming. They were like, we just can't.
Right.
They're like, you can't do a show where you never see the main character's face. Star Wars would like to fucking have a word with you because they already did it.
To be fair, though, it worked,
Mhm.
and then the actor was the problem in that case because he was very mad about having to do that. Which
Fuck 'em.
I'm sure plenty of actors would be okay with it, but he wasn't. So,
I mean, he takes his helmet off like once a
well,
season.
yeah, that's what they did. I'm pretty sure he's not in it anymore. They officially announced he's gone. So,
When?
hope they didn't have any plans.
You talking about Pedro Pascal?
Pedro, yeah, he is off the show. I'm pretty sure. I remember seeing that recently.
I gotta look at this.
Which I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna recast or if it's just. I haven't seen even season 3 at this point, so I have no idea where they left off. If they had it on a cliffhanger, or if it was a good stopping point. I don't know.
I
haven't
have
really
no
watched it.
idea. I haven't sat down to watch Mandalorian in a hot minute.
Yeah, I haven't even caught. The last thing I watched, I think, was some of Book of Boba Fett when it came out, and then the Obi-Wan show, and both of those made me just. I wanted to be done. Both of those kind of made me want to be done, and I haven't gone back since then. Those dark
Fair
times.
enough. Mhm.
Yeah. Another thing, speaking of all these disappointments, Marvel's in the same boat. Did you guys hear about the performance of the last couple movies? Especially the one that just came out, the Marvels. It's rough.
I don't remember the last time I went to see Marvel.
Marvel's
I think they're-
Marvel's been in like a stench for a minute.
They have. I mean, the quality just seems like it just suddenly
Yeah, they
dropped
finished.
out of
They
nowhere.
finished telling the story for Endgame, so they were like, "Okay, we can stop. We can stop putting out bangers now, guys."
But why would they do that? Who says that?
So
I don't know.
Like,
So Josh, I
that
read the
just means go to
article.
a news store. That's really good.
Josh, I read the article that
Which
says that he
article?
won't be returning to Mandalorian. He won't be physically returning.
So they're just gonna voice him.
Yeah, he just can't. He's just too busy to come to set.
Oh. Well,
That
to be
makes
fair, I didn't
sense.
read all the way, so I guess I didn't. see that
It's
part.
like
Thank
it's
you for the
like a
clarification.
6 month.
Motherfucker didn't read.
No,
It's like
I
a
didn't.
6 month
You got me.
commitment versus like a week, like a couple days for him. It's just one is easier than the other, and he probably was already doing that. Let's be honest. He's not in that suit for a lot of it, and it's also
Yeah.
a what's the word I'm looking for? It's a basically he could make double the money by only doing the voice for Mando and also doing something else at the same
Staff
time.
job, double the money.
He could make double the money doing two things at the same time, or he could commit to only doing the Mandalorian and physically showing up even though he doesn't have to.
Right.
I also hear
I'm looking at
that
the
he's being considered for the Fantastic
stats.
Four now.
Interesting.
Yeah, apparently they're looking
Can I
at
go
him
in the
for Reed
completely
Richards.
other direction
What's that?
with the topic?
What's that?
Dolly Parton put out a cover of Freebird.
and
Apparently,
That sounds
I
like
haven't listened
hard.
to it, but I just checked the Discord message and like, what
is
the
this gonna
fuck?
be another Heart
This
by
is
Johnny Cash situation?
It's the final song on her latest album, Rockstar.
Is she gonna ruin the original version because hers is way better, like Johnny Cash did to her?
I don't think so.
I don't know, but it only has 99,000 listens on Spotify. It's the last song on a 30-song album.
Jesus
Wow.
Christ. Cheese and
There's a lot of
crackers.
covers. She did a cover of Purple Rain. Wrecking Ball, and Miley Cyrus is on there.
Wrecking Ball.
Satisfaction,
Please tell me she filmed the video too.
Heart of Glass. I don't know. There's a Stairway to Heaven cover.
Wow. I mean,
We Are the Champions.
you sure this isn't just like AI generated covers, like all the ones we see on the YouTube now?
I don't know. It
Wait.
could have been.
Wait.
But
Did
this was
he
released
just
on Friday.
did he just call it the YouTube?
He did
Yeah,
just call
it
it
is the YouTube.
Why is there such a buffer?
It's a series of tubes for you.
Okay, I'm gonna hold on.
Wow. That just sure, Dolly. Get her. I mean, I don't know what to. I'm not
Oh,
gonna listen to
Leonard
that.
Skinner's already
but-
on this, so it'll probably be better.
I mean, it's already an overplayed song as it is. I don't
We'll
really
see.
hear her sing it too.
I'm gonna listen to it for a minute.
I mean, it's.
I think it's longer than the original version too.
I would
Wow,
imagine
it's
it's-
10
pretty
minutes.
long. Holy crap!
Ain't nobody got 10 minutes to listen to Dolly Parton's Freebird.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's.
I mean, I'm just gonna listen to it through the rest of the podcast. Give my thoughts on it.
I feel like I've been really angry this episode.
I
Think I've-
Yeah,
noticed.
no shit.
I've been just.
You've just been kind of going at it, my
I
guy.
know. I'm sorry. I need to settle down. Give me some
Yeah,
chill pills.
First off, you yelled at me for cloud gaming,
Yes, I did.
and then you immediately went on the tangent of Legend of Zelda movie.
I'm sorry. They've just been really in my mind recently. That has been. I'm just so worried about that. I don't know what to feel.
You know what?
Because you would think, as a big fan of it, I would be excited for that idea. But honestly, that's like the one franchise I just don't want to see a movie
Speaking
pretty
of,
much ever. But
speaking
if
of-
they're gonna do it, at least do
speaking-
it.
Never mind.
as a
This is
cartoon.
infinitesimally worse.
Nice.
Speaking of,
As soon as I heard Dolly Parton's voice, I'm like, nope.
speaking of production of stuff that we're fans of, you know what show was, I think, started filming at the beginning of this year and is now back in pre-production? They're starting from
What?
scratch.
No. Daredevil? They're starting it over again?
Daredevil Born Again started filming earlier this year, but apparently they're back at square one
Oh God.
after the strike
When you-
because Disney
you
Oh,
said,
after the writer's strike. Okay.
well, Disney is apparently doing a restructuring of their TV shows because they've recognized that what they've been doing has not been working.
Wow, it took them this long?
But I'm kind of sad
So
because I
the
was
Daredevil
really
show
looking
that
forward to seeing the
existed?
Daredevil show.
The Daredevil show that already exists Is that just being reset now? That doesn't exist.
So
But
it's
the
the
character was
same
in
cast.
Spider-Man.
It's the same
like the movie.
cast. We don't know how much of the Netflix show canon is carrying over to the MCU because the Netflix shows
What?
are considered like secondary canon or like not
Mhm.
canon at all, and we really don't know how much of it is canon. So,
But it's the same cast.
as far as we know, I believe Kristen Ritter's returning. Charlie Cox is returning. Vincent D'Onofrio is returning. I think
This
that's
Do they say why
that's
they're
in.
doing that with specifically Daredevil?
No.
Like why? what
Just
was
the
wrong with
just
original?
that
I
the
thought it was
Netflix
pretty well liked.
shows aren't canon and that they want more control. I think the like official reason is they're gonna pick and or what they're really doing is they're just going to pick and choose what's canon and what's not.
Makes sense.
I mean, sure, but can they do that for Star Wars already?
No, they
If
won't.
they're gonna do that.
Okay,
I mean, I thought Daredevil was well
fine.
liked. I mean, that was
It is. It's
just
very
the
well.
Leonard-
Leonard-
that was
Leonard
even-
singing.
Daredevil is actually like the best
Yeah, so why-
superhero show of all time.
So then, why are they canceling that and not some of the actually controversial and bad stuff that they've released? Why
Because
that? I don't get that.
Because it was
What
produced.
reasoning is there?
Because the Netflix show was produced outside of Disney, outside of Kevin Feige. So they're trying to they're doing it, but they
God.
want more control over what it does.
So they want to ruin it too, is what I'm hearing. Because they couldn't make it as good as that, so they're like, "Well,
There's
you
also
guys made it too well. We're gonna cancel that, and then we're gonna make our own crappy version."
there's
Control.
also the sizable plot hole that Daredevil season 3 takes place after Infinity War, and you'd never know.
Well,
I guess not.
Because they were
at
shot.
this point,
at the
they
same
should
time.
they should wipe the slate clean on everything they've made since. Honestly, if they could just keep Spider-Man and wipe everything past.
That's
what
the
was it?
rumor.
Endgame, I guess. Really,
That's the rumor.
they need to just reset that. I mean, they've already. Have you heard about
The rumor is that
the
they're
Kang
resetting
Dynasty
everything.
getting pretty much canceled?
The rumor is that with the new stuff, they're resetting everything. Who goes there?
Holy shit, Nate jump scare.
Nate jump
hey,
scare.
Nate.
Whoops, wrong club.
We're having a riveting discussion.
Oh,
Oh, he butt dialed us.
I wonder where he meant
he
to
was
go.
on mobile.
Well,
I wonder where he meant
I
to
don't know.
go.
That's a question.
He said, "Whoops, wrong one,"
The world will never know.
and then dipped.
Sure.
Yeah,
We just got prank called. That's what happened.
Wrong
Just playing it
classroom.
off.
Is that what he said?
In Twitch chat.
Nate, you
Been
lovable
duped.
buffoon.
Yeah.
You guys ever just want to make out with?
So
I mean,
wait, you said they're resetting everything?
that's the rumor. That they're going to recast
When you
Iron
say
Man
that,
and
what do you
Captain
mean?
America.
When you say everything,
That they are going to restart. That they're going to give an in-universe
What?
reason for doing everything all over again.
are you kidding me? This is so.
This is
if
not
this
how
is
I wanted
true,
them to introduce Galactus into this.
This is so Disney. If this is true.
Allegedly.
Wow, we had something really good. We can't do it over again, or can't create new
So-
stuff. Let's just restart it and milk it some more. Are you
The
joking?
theory is that they want to basically, when they started it, they did not have the proper rights to all the characters, so there was a lot of stuff that they couldn't do. The rumor is that they want to start over and do everything right this time, with the Fantastic Four being numero uno, and then the Avengers, then the X-Men.
Does this
Okay,
mean we're
but-
gonna get a proper Wolverine?
Allegedly. Or it's just going to be Hugh Jackman again.
I mean,
Allegedly.
proper. I'll be very impressed if they can pull anyone out besides Hugh Jackman for that role. I mean, he is.
That's who
in a lot
I
of
want
people's
to
minds.
play.
Yeah, but he's old.
Wolverine.
I want
I
to see
don't know
somebody
if he's
new.
got much more in it for another giant 10-year franchise.
I really like Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, but I want to see somebody new
That's fair.
because
It'll never be the same.
Hugh Jackman is way too fucking tall.
For the recast of who? Nate? Iron Man?
Wait, what's Nate saying?
He
I
wants
Johnny Depp. Yo,
but
Johnny
he's
Depp
still
is Iron
but
Man?
he's still in the Willy Wonka costume.
I was thinking more of the Captain Jack, but I'll concede.
Listen, I know he said on record that he will never go back to pirates. However, I'm still holding out.
We can only hope.
It's
Wait, so
good.
why do they need to restart it, including all of these characters that have already been established?
Because they're doing
Like,
Secret
those
Wars.
are not even okay. If you go pre MCU, those were all mostly like B tier or less
Listen to
heroes.
this.
They were not even like really
Yup.
big heroes in Marvel.
Mhm.
So why on earth do they need to restart those just because they became popular in the MCU? Make other characters the reboot, whatever, and use those. I mean,
That's
for
what
crying
I
out
thought
loud.
they were doing with, like, Shang-Chi
Yeah.
And it's not.
fucking-
I thought that was the point. We were gonna have
It's a
a
rumor
different
right now,
generation.
right? There's no confirmation this is what they're doing. The thought is because the
Right.
MCU is so unsuccessful post killing those characters off, that they want to start over and bring those characters back so that people's interest will be reinvigorated.
But the interest wasn't because just the characters existed. It was because the way that they wrote them and made them good characters is what made people like them. No one cared when they first released Iron Man that he was Iron Man because no one cared about Iron Man, the character. They cared when they made a really good movie and subsequent movies past that all
to
tied
say
together
that nobody
with
cared
characters that
about
they
Iron Man
really wrote well.
To say that nobody cared about Iron Man isn't true because everybody hated Iron Man because he was such an asshole in the comics. He was such an irredeemable piece of shit in the comics that everybody fucking hated his guts. So it's an even better turnaround, is the point.
Yeah, sure. We'll go with that. I actually wasn't really familiar with his history in the comics, but I just knew that
Yeah,
he
nobody
wasn't
liked him.
really a high class character in the slightest. Yeah, and they turned that around. I mean, the amount of characters that were uncared about in a lot of cases. I mean, heck, the big one right now is Scarlet Witch, and they killed her off, which I'm not sure if that's permanent or not, but she, especially now, is I think the highest, most popular character right now they have in the MCU.
Who is
After all the other ones that came before.
Sorry,
Scarlet Witch?
Scarlet Witch?
I
Yeah,
mean-
she's fucking dead.
Yeah. Well, she's dead,
she's very
kind
dead.
of, but I've heard rumors that they're trying to bring her back, but
Well, yeah, they
because
were.
she's like
of course
the
they
most
were.
popular of the
I
current
I
alive
saw her die
people,
in the movie,
from
and I
what
was like, she's
understand.
not. They're not. That's not permanent.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really lackadaisical end.
But
no
also,
one
that's
probably
just
liked
the
it. I
way
know I
that
didn't
these
like it,
that
and my
these
wife didn't
superhero
like it. She
properties
liked the
go.
character, so
That's just the way that these superhero properties go. Is that they kill off a character and it doesn't stick. That's just the way that it goes. And
Well, it
in
didn't
movie
help
format,
that they-
you can't always get the actor back, so you have to recast them.
hmm
So that's probably
Well,
what's
that's
going
just
to
it.
happen.
If they sign them on for a time that they allot previously before just like kind of winging it like they've done with these past two phases of MCU, then they wouldn't have that problem. You could kill them off in really cool ways at the end of their term, like they did with Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans and all the others. Like, I mean, that didn't matter that they needed to die and be recast or whatever because they got a really good story arc.
Those are the characters that they're
write out
talking
ahead
about
of time
recasting, is
and
the
end.
ones that the ones that they've killed in ways that were satisfying and earned. Those are the characters they're talking about bringing
That's
back
stupid.
and recasting.
I
That's
don't need
the-
that
how it
arc of
goes.
Iron Man.
That's
we have it already.
how it goes, Josh. That's
I mean, if you would have wait
just-
like 10, 15 years for things to advance in technology and people to kind of, be ready
it's
for
been
one, sure.
5.
But it's been like, what, 4 years since Endgame?
Yeah, but
don't
we're
really
not
know
talking
Iron
about
Man.
them doing it this year. We're talking about them doing it almost a decade from when Endgame came out. What's the release for it? Like 2025, 2026? That's fucking 6 or 7 years after the fact. That's a long fucking time.
That's not enough. How big is the Marvel universe that they can pull from any other character besides the ones that they've already used
If
to do an entire MCU?
If the
reboot?
MCU is
I mean,
still
that's
fucking
that's
floating,
insanity.
if the MCU is still fucking floating after 20 years, I'd say they fucking earned it. They earned to do
And
whatever the
20
fuck
years,
they
sure.
want. Because that's
Not 7.
That's 5 years from now. That's 5 years from this year. Is 20 fucking years of MCU shit.
I don't think that it is appropriate or also smart to do that. I think
What about the
that
time that they
they're
killed off a character?
very much
and-
wrong? And
What about the time that they killed off a character and brought him back to life in the very next movie that came out like a full year later?
is this an MCU or is this another movie? What are you talking about?
This is MCU when they killed Loki off at the end of Thor and they brought him back to life like a year later.
Oh. Well, but that's Loki. I mean, they at least wrote him in that kind of being his character of like kind of being a little conniving, sneaky guy that just fakes things.
Or
That makes sense.
Or the
I can
time
fi-
that
I
they
can see it, and I
or
can
the
see
time
why
that
they
they
thought,
or the time that
bring
they
him back 'cause he has an
actually
interesting
100% killed him off, made a point of saying he's never coming back, and then brought him back a year later.
In Infinity War.
From Infinity
just
War to
have his own
Endgame.
TV show.
From Infinity War to Endgame, they killed him off in Infinity War. Said he's never coming back. He's never getting a resurrection.
He was in End. Fuck, he wasn't.
guess-
And then they
I'm-
resurrected him in the
fucking
very next
What you
fucking
mean?
movie.
What's wrong with resurrecting? people?
Technically, it's not resurrection if it's going back in time. But your
I
point.
don't think
What's
there's
wrong with
anything
resurrecting people?
Inherently wrong. I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with that. There's nothing inherently wrong with them realizing that a character still had a lot of potential in the current storyline and like, yeah, we should probably, do some more with him. Let's like find a way to bring him back so we can write him out more and develop him more. That makes sense. That's okay. He had a lot of potential as a character. They brought him back. A lot of people liked him, so it made sense.
They
I
brought
have no
him
problem with
back.
that.
They
But
brought
we're
him back.
talking
They
about
brought him back.
Rebooting.
Undid like fucking 10 years of character development, and then had to figure out how to
Undid what?
shoehorn. Undid 10 years of character development because they got a fucking 2012 Loki in the next thing they did. And then they had to figure out how to shoehorn, and I'm not saying Loki is bad as a show because I liked the first season. I didn't fucking watch the second season because I don't have Disney Plus because I don't have the login. And then they had to shoehorn in 10 years of character development by just making him sit down and watch his life.
Mhm.
Actually, this is my nerd moment. He was actually in the show as both versions. If you watched it, because
Half the fucking characters in Loki are Loki.
yeah, but I'm saying
What are you
the old
fucking
version
talking
of him is basically the him that survived after that.
What
are you talking about?
this?
What are you talking about? That doesn't make any
There's a-
fucking sense.
No, like he describes. Yeah, I actually survived that. That's how I'm here right now. He talks about how he
What?
survived the Thanos almost killing him.
When?
The old version of Loki in the Loki show talks about that.
But that's not him. That's an alternate version of him. That's not the same Loki.
But
Because the
But we use
version
that
the
to infer
version
that the
of
Loki in
Loki
our
that we
universe did
saw
the same
die
thing.
is not the old guy. Because the old guy is what if he hadn't fucking died?
Oh
no,
god,
I think that was
we
kind
need
of a
we need to not
confirmation.
bring Marvel
See,
what ifs
this,
into
this is definitely getting too
deep.
deep into this. The point that we were trying to make is beyond this. This is too deep, but the point we're making is rebooting is not the same as just bringing a character back from the dead to use them more and develop them more.
Next,
That's
you're
two
going to
very
tell
different
me
things.
that
We're
Earth
talking about
isn't
rebooting.
habitable?
Are you really making a comparison between rebooting?
Well, if we're being
and that.
honest,
Do not make that fucking
it's
point.
kind of not in the current climate.
It's habitable. If you can breathe the air,
Kinda-
no, shut up. If you can breathe the air,
We're about to not be able to breathe the air in like 50 years or some shit.
but that's 50 years from now. It's still fucking habitable.
Now.
It's at the very least, life can fucking exist here.
Perhaps.
That is
We've
the
officially
point.
gotten into a tangent, folks.
I'm not. I don't want to have the fucking Mauler and
yes.
Fringy conversation right now. Because that's a video I watched last night where they argued with a chatter about whether or not Earth was habitable for like 30 minutes. Because the person's like, well, when
That sounds like a fun
Jor-El
time.
in Man of Steel said that that there were other habitable planets, maybe he meant places that weren't habitable.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
Yeah, the point they were trying to make didn't make any fucking sense. I just lost track of
clearly
it like
doesn't.
halfway through the video. I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? Have you, but Josh, have you watched Daredevil?
No, I haven't actually watched any of the shows.
Just
The
watch.
only, the only Marvel shows I've watched is like a little bit of Moon Knight.
I'm
I
sorry.
haven't seen that one yet either. I haven't seen any of them.
just-
except a
Through
little
clips
bit of
on
Hawkeye.
YouTube.
Just watch Daredevil, and don't worry about any of the other stuff.
Well, it's not
But
canon
Moon
anymore. Why
Knight's
do I care?
cool.
Because it's good.
Mm.
It's probably some of the best superhero media I've seen in my life.
Okay, what about Punisher?
Punisher's good too.
But part of
Punisher
the
shows up
appeal
in
of the whole
Daredevil.
Marvel thing. Part of the appeal of
Yeah,
Marvel
because Punisher gave us
is
where the
grouping
fuck
and
is
all
it?
together.
Where's
John
the sound?
Bernthal.
I know. Yeah, Punisher gave us this.
No. Wait. Wait.
It's a good bit.
I don't know what that was.
Mm-hmm.
That was John Bernthal as the Punisher saying, no. Wait. It's like a dream sequence in the show where he sees his family getting executed. Like they're having like a family dinner, like Thanksgiving or some shit. And suddenly in the dream, he's like tied down and men with masks come in. And he's like, no. And then they all pull out guns. He's like, wait. And then his family gets executed in front of him.
Oh, that's very nice. Very pleasant.
Because that's Frank Castle's whole spiel is that his family got murdered.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
he
probably another reason I don't really want to watch a lot of the shows like that of Marvel's. I'm just not into the dark ones as much.
Daredevil is just a really good, I read the comics, obviously. It's probably the only comic I read right now is Daredevil because it's just really good. It's just about a blind
Fair enough.
dude who beats the shit out of criminals and what's not to love. And I wish to God.
I kind of want to.
Oh,
Go ahead.
okay. I wish to God that they would make a Daredevil game. What were you gonna say? I'm lagging like a motherfucker.
I said
right
I
now.
kind of want. Oh, you're fine. I said I kind of want to. I was gonna say I kind of want to sit down and watch Gotham.
I watched like most of
Just
the
because I've
first
seen
season.
so many clips of it.
It's pretty good. I never finished it. I watched like most of the first season. My problem with it is that you get to a point in the show that feels like a season finale, and then it keeps going for another like 15 episodes.
Pacing.
It's 23 episodes long, but I swear to God, I felt like I watched 3 seasons of the show.
That is a long season, to be honest, for that kind of show.
No, it was a network television show. That's about average. It started airing in like 2014.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least seeing what a lot of the other superhero ones are doing lately.
$100,001.
Bruce Wayne's
But
character
yeah, I
in that
haven't seen
show
any
is
of those.
fucking balling.
It's so fucking funny.
Watch
'Cause
Daredevil.
he goes from like 500,000 to like $2 million.
But point is, watch Daredevil because it's really good. It's about a blind lawyer, dude. And he doesn't.
I mean, he was in
Spec-
Nowhere Home.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw him in that. Yeah, I recognized that was him and all that, but I just didn't really care that much. I know a lot of people that were fans cared. That's cool.
Yeah, Daredevil's
it
my
didn't appeal to
favorite
me.
superhero.
I don't.
My favorite superhero is Daredevil is, so I was fucking hype.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Because Matt Murdock is just such a little shit. And I love it. He's such an asshole. When his identity leaked, he wore a shirt that said, "I'm not Daredevil." I think you've probably seen this. But when people started speculating that he was Daredevil, he started wearing a shirt that said, "I'm not Daredevil," accompanied by a couple devil horns. Just to be an asshole. And then
That's funny.
spoilers for season 3 of Daredevil because fuck you. He
Even though he wants us to watch it, yet he's going to spoil the TV show.
Kingpin finds out who he is and he's like, well, now I have to kill him. And he just goes there and decides at the last second, I'm not going to kill him. So he beats the shit out of him and says, if you ever tell anyone who I am or ever bring it up to anyone or ever use that information in any way, your wife is next. And then he leaves.
Jesus.
I think he says he's going to throw her in prison, but it's better
Why the
to...
fuck did he beat a blind man?
What was that?
I said, why the fuck did Kingpin just beat up a random blind man?
No, well, because he tried to kill him because
Who's clearly not Daredevil, but the shirt and horns.
that's not in the show. That's in the comics. Because he tried to just very easily kill Matt because he's like, he's a blind lawyer that keeps getting me thrown in jail. It's gonna be really easy to just kill him, not realizing that's Daredevil. And Matt, not realizing that Kingpin can see me right now, just beats the dog shit out of these guys. There's also the last Daredevil moment I'm gonna mention. My personal favorite moment from the comics. I don't know if you've seen this panel anywhere, but he's in his I don't remember if he comes into his apartment or if he's in his apartment, and armed SWAT guys burst in with night vision goggles, and all the lights in his apartment are off, and he goes, "Oh no. 5 armed guys with night vision goggles. Whatever is a blind man to do?" Turns on the lights and blinds all of them.
That was their first mistake.
Their first mistake was thinking that I didn't know where they were. Their second mistake was thinking I didn't know how to fucking fuck with them.
So then they had to rip off the night vision goggles as he's running up to them to kick their asses.
They have to take off the night vision goggles as they hear their friends getting absolutely pieced
Beat the
up.
shit out of.
Pieced up by a blind
Take that long
lawyer.
to take off night vision goggles?
What was that?
Isn't it just like a little? Is it that hard to just
I don't know.
They usually just
It
have a little
basically,
thing you just?
it might be literally 10 seconds before he just beats the shit out of them. But
I'm just imagining some the Princess Leia chase scene acting where they're just like, oh, I can't get it off. Oh. for like 10 seconds.
Yeah, that's again. That's in the comics. It's not in the show, so it's kind of time is a little fucky. But
Oh, okay.
here, let me see if I can find the panel. You guys keep talking.
The panel. No, I don't think I will.
Night Vision. Daredevil Night Vision goggles.
Well,
There it
Chase,
is.
you definitely picked a bad time to try to convince me to watch a superhero Marvel show at this point because the franchise to me is pretty dead. I don't really have any appeal left for it.
I guess he just kind of like flashbangs them like very briefly. I think he uses it to get away, but he just says, "Oh no, 6 armed mercs wearing night vision goggles." He's literally just very casually standing there against the wall, like around the corner. Whatever will I do? And then it's just a close up of him clicking on the lights. You can't tell me that's not funny.
It is funny.
I don't care though.
I kind of want to read the Spawn comics too.
I've never read the Spawn comics. I will say, for the big comic publishers, DC and Marvel, they have apps where you can read like their entire library.
Yeah.
DC, you have to pay like a super fucking special subscription that's way too much money to read more recent stuff. And then Marvel's.
I mean, you know what I can just do? It's called going to a website that I know that has scans.
That works. Marvel has
That
been
just have full scans.
Marvel has been really shitty about sending me my comics recently, though. My physical comics, because I want to. This one that I got, I want to say on Friday or Saturday. It shipped in September. I had to email them to have them reship it in October, and they said that at the same time they were shipping out issue number 2 that was supposed to arrive on the 18th. It is the 20th. So I'm going to have to email them about issue number 2 and be like, hey, did that one get sent back too?
You ordered Weed? Issue number 2? What?
I ordered Daredevil number 2.
Sorry. That was
I have a
Daredevil number 2.
I have a 12-month subscription to Daredevil that started in March that I paid for in December of last year, and I didn't get the first comic until like March or May. So
I didn't know you had like a subscription to Marvel.
yeah, it's literally
How
just
is
for
that?
Daredevil. It's literally just for Daredevil because I like his books. And
How often do those come out?
There's like once a month. I might literally start.
I didn't know they were that.
Going in the store to get them because it's kind of been a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it seems like it would be a lot easier just to go to a retailer.
It is. It's just more
Shop
expensive.
local.
Yeah, it's more expensive, but
Yeah, so to pay for 12 issues sent directly to my house, it's $30. To pay for 12 issues on the day that they're released, it's sorry, I'm looking at the price. What's 7 times 12? 84?
Math.
brother,
I think it's 84, right?
I don't remember my 12 timetables.
I think it's 84. But yeah, it's $84, so it's like 3 times the price.
I just got a text from my mom. This is very random, by the way.
Uh-huh.
She said, the 20th to the 20th,
Take your time.
what the fuck?
We're not judging you.
Starting today until the 27th, Sheets is going to offer $1.99 per gallon at 88 of their gas stations for Thanksgiving weekend.
Hey guys, I'll be right back.
Time to fill up.
Yeah, I need to see if there is a Sheets On nearest sheets.
I almost ate shit.
Because I need to plan my route out tomorrow so I can go pick up my sister and also get gas because $1.99 in this economy?
Why do you think I did that bit where I accidentally stomped on my floor because I slipped?
Hold on.
Now I'm anxious.
Sheets. I'm gonna see if this is a real thing. Because it was a Facebook post from Fox. Yeah, no, it's a real thing. Can I see where? Please? Oh, I can. Ohio.
What a nice thing for them to do. Now, if only they could just keep it there, that'd be nice as well. It's probably
Easy.
at cost.
Easy dub. There was one. I think this is the one we went to one time on a food run, and I have enough gas to get there, so I'm definitely going there tomorrow. Yeah. Go get some fucking gas, y'all. I guess. Fuck this economy.
Let's
True
go,
that.
Brandon.
For reference, for those who don't live in Ohio or the Midwest, gas in Cleveland, Ohio is about $3.11.
Yeah, that's usually what I
I
pay.
think it's a little bit more expensive. It usually fluctuates around that range.
It's
so
like $3.54.
Yeah.
I think the last time I got gas.
So it's at least $1.
Yeah.
At least $1 off, and that's not bad.
I could probably fill my tank up with $25. The last $25 I have, by the way. I'm broke. Fun fact.
Same. I have $6 in my bank account right now.
I'm like -20 in my checking account.
Hey, speaking of how broke we are, now would be a great time to recommend that if you have a Prime sub, please use it.
This only goes to him, by the way. Hold on, is that pointing right on
Yeah.
Chase's end? It is.
Yes.
Good. Okay.
No,
Yeah, he doesn't pay
Depending-
us.
yeah, because we've never gotten a donation or a subscription on the podcast. I mean, you'd be getting an infinitesimally small amount of money, but you'd be getting your share. Here, let me figure out what it is.
Waiting.
Let me figure out what it is. Figure out one sub.
I'll be
Right?
waiting for that.
One sub is
Little
250. 250 that I would get. Divide that by 3, you'd get 83 cents.
It's not pretty.
Hey, that's almost.
That would be 83 cents
That's not
closer
really
to being
anything.
back in the out of the red.
There you go. That's the thinking.
I'm not saying that it would be bad, right? Because money is money, right? I'm just saying don't get your hopes up. Just be realistic with your expectations.
I think I preferred when we were just sad and or mad about non-real life things like movies. Now we're talking about actual real life things that are sad and make me mad.
Yeah, well, you were
Cool.
being angry
Cool.
about
Let's
cloud
diverge
saves.
that.
you
I downloaded
fucking-
Liza P today, and I'm probably gonna play it at some point.
Liza P.
Yeah, the fucking Pinocchio Dark Souls game.
Speaking of new games,
That's a interesting description.
speaking of
That's
new games,
literally the plot.
my stepdad gifted me Diablo 4. He meant to have it scheduled for Christmas, so it was supposed to
Aw.
come through on Christmas, but it came through the moment he bought it.
Like, oops.
It came through on PC, I'm not a PC gamer, and I was like, hey, I don't think it'll run on my PC. Could we possibly refund it? And he goes, yeah, sure, whatever. We each had to send emails to Blizzard and be like, hey, please. In that time that we're waiting for a response, in the time that we're waiting for a response, I was like, I want to see if it runs. Because everywhere I found online was like, you're SOL, you're not getting your money back, you're stuck with that copy of the game. I was like, let me try it out. Let me see if it runs. So I launched it, and I played like the beginning of it. I watched the introductory cutscene. I played the beginning of the game. By the beginning of the game, I mean like the initial stretch where you kill a bunch of shit and then you find your first NPC. I was like, game runs pretty well. And keep in mind, I'm still installing the game at this point. I'm at like the ready to play point. I just wanted to see if the game would run. And I'm like, it runs. Like the only time I ever noticed any kind of like dropping or buffering is when I hit the escape key to pause it to exit out. That's it. It's the only time I ever noticed any sort of problem. And I was like, well, if they won't refund us and I can't play it on Xbox, that's not a big deal. I can play it on PC.
It seems like it was going to run.
Yes. Fast forward to this morning. I got an email.
Did they refund the game?
From the Game Master. A long email. Email saying, we see that your account was created many years ago. Due to, we don't normally do this, but due to your many years of service, we've decided to grant your refund request. We've decided to grant an exception